state of New South Wales and Australia in general is facing an absolutely catastrophic decline in koala numbers. And that catastrophic decline is focused in Port Macquarie, which used to be the koala capital of the country practically. We had the first koala hospital ever here, and work done there is still recognised worldwide. Now, we hoped to get Shane Flanagan, the clinical director of the koala hospital, here today, but for various reasons she can't make it. But she's written as a letter. It could have been written on asbestos. It probably should have been. It shows a concern and an anger which I think we have to hear. I'm going to ask, is he still there? I couldn't find you. Grant Mitchell. He's not there. I'm going to ask Grant Mitchell to read this letter to you. Grant is a committee member of the Alliance and represents one of the residents' groups. This is one you've really got to hear.
Thanks, John. G'day, folks. Okay, let me read this letter. Shane Flanagan, Clinical Director, Port Macquarie Koala Hospital. Comments on the proposed orbital road routes. As a peak body for koala conservation in Australia and recognised internationally, the Koala Hospital would like to comment about the proposed orbital road schemes and the likely impact of these on koalas in the Port Macquarie area. We begin by discussing the flight of koalas in our area, give some background to their biology, and then talk on the likely impact of the orbital road proposal on koalas. Up until the last 10 years, it was estimated that the Port Macquarie Hastings region had the biggest coastal population of koalas in Australia. Since that time, researchers found that the population is now in serious decline. Why are koalas in serious decline in this region? In spite of their solitary nature, koalas actually live as part of a structured hierarchical social order. Habitat patterning, and both good and marginal habitat, is therefore important. Koalas typically occupy these home ranges for life. These areas need to be large. Male koalas, for example, can occupy a home range of up to 100 hectares. Koalas therefore simply cannot live anywhere, cannot just move if habitat is removed, and can only survive on particular species of eucalypt. Consequently, the decline of the Port Macquarie Hastings koala, or koalas, is occurring because of removal of koala habitat for urban and rural development. This continual reduction of both forested areas and patchy refuges of koala habitat forces koalas onto roads where they get hit by cars and into urban backyards where they get attacked by dogs. The immense pressures placed on koala populations as a result of removal of habitat causes expression of diseases such as chlamydia, which can render the koala blind, infertile, or cause death. It is important to note that the incidence of chlamydia is high in areas of disturbed habitat, such as urban areas, but it is very low in undisturbed forested environments. Every pocket of koala habitat is precious to their survival. The Port Macquarie Koala Hospital is the very first wildlife hospital in Australia and is still the only true koala hospital dedicated to wild koalas in the country. The Koala Hospital is at the leading edge in its field in Australia and is recognised internationally. In a research collaboration with the Australian Centre for Wildlife Genomics at the Australian Museum, it was found that the koalas of the Port Macquarie Hastings region are genetically very diverse. This genetic diversity makes them nationally significant as a source population for breeding future healthy stock. The koalas of this region bring in $60 million tourism dollars annually. The Koala Hospital hosts 150,000 visitors per year. Such is the power of the koala to this region. The hospital is greatly concerned at the proposed orbital road concept.